Okay, everybody, I'm back here. Now, as I mentioned at the end, one of the main things that really got fans irate with Ian Flynn, with the story arc, is when he used it basically to bring Monkey Kong and Sally together. Now, what really pisses fans off about this and puts them up in arms and irate at Ian is the fact that he's basically essentially putting Sally together with someone that's similar to Sonic in many traits, or in some traits. But the difference is he's a cybernetic monkey. Now, this is where it really gets fans as well. The fact that he's not just a monkey, he's cybernetic. What the hell? And the fact that he's a king, supposed to be the king of the free people where he comes from. Again, to them it's like, what the hell? But the way I look at it is like this. It sort of reminds me of a situation I saw in the television movie Saved by the Bell Hawaiian Style. Now, basically, in the television movie, Zach Morris, the main character, falls in love with this girl from Hawaii called Andrea. Now, basically, long story short, she falls in love with him as well. And what happens at the end, as Zach is getting ready to go back with his friends, he starts to make the decision, and you can even see the decision he wants to make during the movie, that he wants to stay with Andrea. But Andrea basically tells him, no, you have to go back and finish your high school education. You got to go to college, complete that. Just work for your future. Don't throw it all away because of me. Basically, she's also telling him to do what she couldn't do because she ended up becoming a mother at this time, at the time of her high school graduation. Now, Zach does ask her, well, if he does all that and still wants to be with her, then she replies, then you better come back and as soon as you can or as soon as possible. But as every fan knows, but as any longtime Saved by the Bell fan knows, and you can even look it up on Wikipedia, any longtime fan, watcher of the show, because I've watched it myself, knows that does not happen, and Zach Morris ends up marrying his longtime sweetheart, Kelly Kapowski, in the final movie, basically the franchise finale, if you will, Wedding in Las Vegas. He ends up marrying Kelly. And this is what really gets fans irate, because the way I look at it, this is very similar in many ways. I mean, fans can almost see Sally doing almost the exact same things to Monkey Kong. Now, unless Ian decides, hey, I'm going to throw you guys a curveball and I'm going to have Sally go to the Dragon Kingdom with him, then that would be a surprise. But the preview for 212 basically says Sally decides who she's going to set her heart upon. But anyway, that's how I look at it, and I'm sure a lot of longtime fans would agree with me. And that's why for your newer fans, that's one of the reasons you have to understand why fans are irate about this story and irate and pissed off at Ian for it. But if you think that can't be topped, check this out. At the end of 209, we're essentially beginning the tie-in story arc, or the tie-in story, Journey to the East in Sonic Universe. At the end of 209, we're beginning that. We're beginning the Journey to the East story arc in Sonic Universe, which is a tie-in to the Iron Dominion story arc. Now, this is what really gets fans irate. The fact that at the end of 209, we begin Journey to the East in Sonic Universe. But at the end of 210, here comes Sonic, here comes Sally, here comes Monkey Kong, here comes Tails, back from Journey to the East. Basically, Ian has ended the Journey to the East story arc 2 months before it really officially ends in Sonic Universe. Basically, he gives away everything in 211. Now, you might say to yourself, well, 211 officially marks the end of the Iron Dominion arc, right? Well, true, it does mark the end of the Iron Dominion arc in the original Sonic the Hedgehog comic book. But in Sonic Universe, it's still going on through Journey to the East. And this is what really gets fans pissed off. the fact that Ian has decided to end the story arc and give away what was going to happen in Sonic Universe here in Sonic 211, this month's issue. And that's what really pisses fans off, because he didn't work it out to where they could both end, both story arcs, which tie into each other, can end at the same time. Instead, Journey to the East, which is a tie-in continuation of the Iron Dominion saga, ends in June. The Iron Dominion story arc in the original comic ends this month. And again, this is what pisses fans off. The fact that he's giving away the spoilers, giving away exactly what's going to happen 2 months before Journey to the East ends. And that's what pisses fans off. It's like, in fact, some fans have even said, way to go, on some forums have said, way to go, Ian. Way to go. You've basically messed the entire story up. You've basically given away what was going to happen in Journey to the East 2 months before. That's what pisses fans off. Now, you'll probably say, now for you new readers, you'll probably say, well, Ian can't control the scheduling and releasing of the certain issues of different comics. He can't help it. That's true. He can't help it. That might be true. But, still, fans are a little pissed off. To some fans, and I'll even include myself, he should have at least found a way to kind of bring Sonic Universe out 2 times a month just for the story arc. But it didn't happen, and again, you might say, well, he can't control the scheduling and releasing of different issues. That's true. That is true. He can't. That's true. He can't do that. But still, it irates fans because he's basically giving away the story arc of Journey to the East, of what's going to happen in Journey to the East. He's giving it away in 211. Now, another thing that gets them as well, and even though it's a small deal, and I should have mentioned this when I talked about Monkey Kong and Sally, is the fact that in the story arc, he's also teasing a little bit of a Sonic Amy deal. And yet fans still look at Amy as that girl that just goes Google-eyed over Sonic all the time, and the only reason she acts the way she does is to impress Sonic. Heck, Ian or someone associated with Ian, I don't know if it's Ian himself, did a side story about this with her being trained by Julie Sue. And the reason for her training was for what reason? To impress Sonic. Now, I will admit, Ian did a good job here by making Amy seem more mature and more like a leader. Even though it was towards the end of the arc, at least he did that, especially in 210. But still, in 211, she still acts the same, according to some fans. In fact, she lounges at Sonic on top of the Iron King after Sonic helps her knock him down, and Sonic's asking her cliché-ly, did you miss me? And she hugs him, basically lunges at him, and then she does the same at the end of the same issue when she figures it's time for more celebration, and she lunges at Sonic, surprising him, almost knocking him down. Oh. But basically, that's one of the other things, and again, I should have mentioned this with Khan and Sally, that got fans irate. The fact that he's teasing this, and yet he has come out and said he strongly supports Sonic and Sally as a couple. What the hell? But overall, the one thing fans really are pissed off about with him is the fact that to them, nothing was really accomplished here. I mean, as I mentioned in part 1, Eggman basically has regained his sanity. Instead of making it like 50-50 to where he's like half insane, half sane, you're basically recycling the cycle again. The Iron Queen is basically defeated. And instead of being probably killed off or something like that, or falling to her death, she ends up being arrested. That's it. And another thing that gets fans is SBO, who is a traitor, shows up out of nowhere, gives them the fan from Sonic issue 60, and Monkey Kong uses it to blast the Iron King straight across the West Coast or whatever. I mean, things like that really get fans pissed off. And, again, for your newer readers, you're probably wondering what's the big deal. So it was a year-long story arc, and everything. And true, it's got maybe some plot holes and all that. What's the deal? Well, the deal is the fact that fans dealt with a long story arc before this, and the longest one before the Iron Dominion was Sonic Adventure, because it went for about 8 to 9 issues plus a 48-page Sonic Super Special. But again, the fans, the long-time reader fans, are just happy now that it's over, but still irate at the fact that Ian has left a lot of plot holes and never really accomplished anything in their eyes. But I thought I'd just rant about that and give you newer readers an explanation as to why long-time readers are acting like this and saying these things. And I will talk to you all later. Hope you enjoyed it, and peace.